Hello guys, we are back with our next lecture. In this lecture, let us go through the common kernels used in our support vector machines, guys. Okay, so basically here we are having a three popular we'll be discussing, guys. There are in total around 9 to 12 kernels, guys, in total. So among them I selected these three. You can select some other three also, guys. Okay, so these three are a bit easy according to me, so that's the reason why I have selected them. Okay, so the first kernel is nothing but the linear kernel, guys. So basically just from the diagram only you will be saying that okay, so this is normal SVM, right? Yes. So what you have watched in the last lecture, exactly that concept is nothing but the linear kernel, guys. So here using a single linear line you are going to separate two classes, guys. Okay, so I am not going to repeat the whole data again. Okay, so I think you can just go through it, right? Yes. So we discussed in detail, like step by step again, everything, right? Yes. So the only thing which I want to add for it is about the soft and hard errors, guys. I think it's not written there. So basically soft and hard errors are nothing but, so whenever there is only some error, so if there is some error in between them, okay, so that we call it as a soft, guys. If there is no error, 100% you are accurately dividing them, so if this circle will go in that way only, all squares will come in this way. So if you are 100% accurate and if they are divided with a single line, then we will be calling them as hard, guys. Okay, yes. So this is the simple concept which I wanted to indicate you here. Okay, yes. So the next type of kernel is a polynomial kernel, guys. Okay, so basically if you observe, so in the we divided using a linear line, right? So is it possible every time? Yes, I can you say, guys, is it possible every time? No, right? So we cannot say that every time it is possible, right? Yes. So that is the reason why this polynomial kernel came into play, guys. So basically here we will be incrementing the dimensions. So basically you might heard that we are going to decrement the dimensions, but here we are incrementing the dimensions, guys. Okay. So you will be saying that no, first show as example, then we will be getting a clear idea. Okay. So let me draw this exact diagram. Okay. So here we are having a square, star, star and square. So this, can I divide it linearly, guys? So with a single line I cannot even divide them, right? Yes. So let us do some modification. So let us bring an axis. Okay, so let us make it as a 2D axis, guys. Okay, and let us place this line here, and let us move these x values below and this square values above. Okay, so this square, let us move them a bit high. Okay, so if you notice here, using the single line only you are going to divide them, right? How did we do it? So basically we increased the dimension from 1D to 2D, right? Yes, so it's two dimensional. So using a simple trick, we have separated them, right? This is nothing but the polynomial kernel, guys. So whenever the data cannot be separated into two parts easily, then we try to increase the dimensions of the original data, and then by applying the linear kernel, that's nothing but the normal kernel, we try to separate them. Okay, so that is concept is called as nothing but the polynomial kernel. So I have just drawn the same example here. Okay, so in this way, converting a lower dimension to higher dimension so that the data can be divided into two parts, this is by using a polynomial function. So basically, how did I move them exactly below and above? So basically these kind of some functions will be there, guys. Okay, so we'll be doing some matrix multiplications, and this concept is a bit in depth, so I just wrote the formula here. Okay, yes, so using these kind of formulas we will be trying to do this kind of manipulations. Okay, yes, so the next type of kernel is nothing but sigmoid kernel, guys. Okay, so here also we are going to increase the dimensions but using some kind of function. So basically that is nothing but sigmoid, guys. That is tan h in simple words, you can say. Okay, so doing the same transformation from lower dimension to higher dimension using a sigmoid or tan h is called as sigmoid kernel. Okay, so if you notice here, so inside we are having stars and outside we are having squares. So basically you need to divide them, right? So you cannot divide them with a linear line, but if you apply some tan h function, so basically the function will look in this way, guys. Okay, so this is the sigmoid function which we exactly apply to convert this into this. So basically once you converted it, you can divide it using a line. Got it? Yes. So I am not interested in exactly how these calculations will be done, guys. So that's the reason why I have just skipped them. If you want, you can just search on YouTube. Mostly you can find some other video which is explaining you clearly in depth, like how exactly they work. Okay, yes. So we do have many other kernels, many other kernel methods. The main goal is to separate the data in a separable way with more accuracy and less error. So this is the final goal of any kernel, guys. Okay, so I hope everyone got some basic idea about this kernels, right? Yes, so we are done with the unit 2 also, guys. Now, so in the next lecture, let us go through the review of this particular unit, and after that we will be starting the next unit, guys. Okay, yes, so let us meet in the next lecture. Thank you, thanks for watching.